So we've both now just seen The Last Jedi at separate times. I've had a little bit more time to process it than Mike. We've had a little pre-discussion about what our initial thoughts were. And we just wanted to talk about what we think of the new Star Wars films and basically new films in general, and like the comparison to what they were like when we were kids. Because obviously I tell people all the time, I say Star Wars and films like that were really instrumental in like how I grew up, what I thought a hero was, what I thought a good film was. You know, a lot of standards that I go by, saying like, is this space film as good as Star Wars? Is this hero as good as Star Wars? Is this villain?
Checklist gets done here.
Yeah.
Check.
Yeah, but
Good
it's
guy.
important. It's important. Like everything's by reference. It's like if you'd only ever seen the film, I don't know, The Rocketeer, you'd probably think that was the greatest film in the world. But once you
watch a billion films.
Once you watch a billion films, it's not as good. And the problem for us now is we've seen so many films. Like you said, it was refreshing to see a different kind of Star Wars film. But if you're a kid and that's your first Star Wars film, I'm saying you'd be immensely pissed off.
Gutted.
You'd be gutted, yeah? Whereas, like, for example, when I was a kid, I loved Return of the Jedi. Now as an adult, I think, well, it's 45 minutes of busting one guy out and then another 45 minutes of repeating, like, episode 4. But as a kid, I didn't realise that. So it's like, you can watch things with different eyes.
You see these cuddly bears going like, right, we're going to fight against
Again, it's fine for what it is. It's still satisfying. What I'm saying about this new Last Jedi film is, for me, on the very fundamental level of like I don't, me and you don't go to the cinema as much as we did when we were younger. We don't have the time to watch a whole film. You know, it's a lot of money to go out. I'm saying on a very basic, I'm going to a movie to see a big action blockbuster. I was not satisfied with, spending my evening doing that.
Yeah.
I think that's the bottom line of it.
So was it 2 hours, 20 minutes?
It's the longest Star Wars film. And a good hour and 20 minutes of that film is one large ship chasing another large ship going very, very slowly.
Just keep out of range.
Did you notice Adrian Edmondson?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That was a good cameo.
Right at the start. But even with Hux, like, it's...
Like, what is he?
Yeah.
Like, how did he get that position?
He hasn't got no power anyway. It's like, oh, we haven't got a Supreme Leader. Anyway, I'm the Supreme Leader now.
But it's like Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yes. You feared him as well.
You believed, like, the whole history. Like, we just watched this video now of, like, how J.J. Abrams didn't have a plan for the characters he introduced in Force Awakens.
Right.
And that is very, very evident now with Hux. Like, he doesn't have a backstory. The thing with...
Well, man, you would have... I reckon that's bullshit. I reckon they planned out the story of... Cause who would do that? Who would just, like, just randomly...
No, J.J. was very, very open about it.
Well, that they haven't had a plan for 8, 9 and 10, as in like where this leads.
Yeah.
It was just like, we're going to make this... Bollocks. That's bollocks, that's but...
No,
nobody...
J.J. said that.
No. It's... Yeah.
But okay, so... If there was a plan, how did they let Rian Johnson write it solely with no one else involved at all?
I think that's like a marketing thing. So like if it does bomb or wherever, we can just blame this director that's done Looper.
But apparently, man, this is the funny thing as well. Is
there's a Palpatine moment going on in you, man. Honest to God, yeah. It's like there's no way in hell that they would have...
But you can't see a plan.
Well, that's what I thought was so refreshing when I watched it, because like I worked out, right, okay, they're going to be brother and sister.
Yeah.
Like Luke's going to like train her and be like Dagobah, like...
Yeah.
But we didn't get to see none of that temple stuff, and it was just like, okay, it's going in a totally different direction that I didn't think... Because I was like, right, I already worked out in my head what is going to happen. And then it didn't happen, and I was just like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, they made him, not that they're idiots, but it's just like there's gonna be repercussions for your actions, and like the older characters were like, look, calm down, don't do that. You've got to think about other things before you do it.
Yeah.
It's like a good example with Poe. So like, and when Yoda says, he says like look, you got to learn from your failure. Hopefully they will. You know, but like they didn't need to waste a film on it. I think there was a good, like you said, there was no morals in it. I think there was a kind of morals, because Rey still stayed true to herself. She wasn't tempted by the dark side. Even though she didn't have these like father figures, she still had that belief in Luke to be good, even though when she met him, and she saw good in Rey, which in Ben, which she thought was there. And then you think that she had the choice, didn't she, at that fight? He was saying, like, I'm gonna get rid of Snoke, right, killed him, right, we can do it together, we can create this new thing. But obviously he's been tempted by the dark side, which is obviously the quick and easy path, and she's like, no, this, because she hasn't been brought up by anybody as well, you know, she's just naturally good
and everything.
And everything, or just being good, like, you know, she's that.
But like, you know, it's funny because they kind of established that in Force Awakens, that she could fly the Millennium Falcon. She was good with, you know, like technical stuff. She could fix everything. She was good with a lightsaber. She picked up things automatically. Yeah. What they just said in that video was, you've got all these supporting characters. Like, if you think of it as like Luke as his surrounding characters in the original film. Yeah. But they're integral to like looking after Luke and like being the parts of him that wasn't complete.
Well, not only that, he wanted to look after his friends. Like, why wouldn't, like, obviously they put Finn in trouble. Why didn't Rey go chasing after Finn to help him or something like that?
That's what I'm saying.
I know Finn wanted to do it. He was just like, look, I want to escape.
So I can help my friend. Yeah.
Help my friend. He didn't give a shit about anything. Again, but we've already...
But that's getting to my point. It's like no one gets to be really heroic. There's no any satisfying moments where you're just like, oh, Jesus Christ. This is the satisfaction I get. Like even like a bad thing, like that's what I'm saying about the death of the film. Even the death wasn't satisfying, isn't it? There was no lasting meaning.
Well, not only that, man. It was just like, okay, why would he even need an apprentice? You've already got everything as like supreme leader. It's like, it just didn't make any. That didn't make any sense. It's just like, why is he there? For them to kill us, it's like, and what's the agenda as well of it all?
It just seems super small. Like that was my biggest complaint about Force Awakens. Like, it felt small. It felt like 3 sets with like, you know, like I was watching the Toys That Made Us. Mm. They were talking about like G.I. Joe action sets. Yeah. And I said to Julie, I said, like, what we do is like with the G.I. Joe sets, we'd set up one base on one vehicle. We'd spend ages like putting the weapons on them and putting them in the position and get them all ready. And then we set them up and we go, what are we going to do with them? And we just smash the vehicle into the base and go, let's start again. And that's what it feels like with a Star Wars film. It's like they set up these like huge ships and they go, it's a dreadnought. We've never seen one of these before. Like, great. Oh, there's an alien. Like, never seen this alien before. And then it's like, what do you do with them? And it's just like, smash it up, like, or run it over. Like, it.
Why didn't they fail at the start, man? Because like, obviously, there was sacrifice. Mm. Like, I think what would have been better if she was banging that thing when she was his sister. Yeah. And she missed. Yeah. She didn't catch it. Yeah. And then they just died. Yeah. I think that would have been...
There would have been some stakes then. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that all the big heroic moments of the film are not the main 3 characters they've introduced, which is like Poe, Finn, and Rey. None of those 3 characters get to do anything. No. Poe gets restricted. Yeah. Right? Finn goes to a base on a mission and he parks incorrectly. That's the biggest sort of bullshit I've ever seen ever in a Star Wars film. Just introduce like a human thing, parking. You ever heard of mention parking before?
No, I can't even remember that bit.
So the whole reason he gets captured, right, is because he parks on the beach. Bear in mind, it's a planet, right? He can park anywhere, right?
So that's where they come after him.
That's where they come after him, right? Which is bullshit, right? I hate when they introduce like TV or even like like that basis of Monte Carlo. I was like, I hated that. Like that, it just seemed really cheap. Like what do do? It felt like the bit in the movie where they go, let's take them to Vegas.
Well, not only that, they're all wearing tuxes and stuff.
I know, man. It's so human, and it's just like it didn't feel alien at all. But I said to you, like they had the option of like those running things could have been tauntauns, or you could.
It could be anything. It could be pod racing, man. That's what I thought.
Well, pod racing. Any callback to any older film, would have made me happy.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's one of the things I love about Rogue One is there was lots of tie-ins to all the movies. Like everyone looked the same, everyone dressed the same, everyone had the same blasters. Like there was very standard rules where they had their own characters, but they kept within.
It looked like the uniform.
It looked like the universe. Whereas this one, they keep trying things where they've got an established universe and they've got characters they could explore. Like I was saying, like it shouldn't have been
man, I was pissing myself. So they get in the trench, don't they? And he goes, salt.
Yeah. like oh yeah, God.
It's salt.
Yeah,
it's salt. Yes.
Mark Hamill had a thing on his Instagram with like the salt testing figure, like is the new best figure to buy.
Yeah.
And the blue milk like cow is the figure to buy. It's like, what figures would you buy like of them? Like, it doesn't inspire you to buy a figure. Yeah. There was nothing cool about it. But like, so for example, like try and think of like where can they go from this film? That's the thing. I'm biggest thing.
No, I don't know, because like I was thinking the same thing. Like, what's going to happen next? Yeah. Obviously, Carrie Fisher's dead. And like the third film was supposed to be about Leia, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, teaching so they're going to bring back Luke, I'm guessing, as a ghost to train Rey some more.
I mean, I hope so. I hope he does something because, again, it's one of those things of like one of the things I loved about the prequels was Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. You got to see a ridiculously superior lightsaber fight. I know they got silly towards the end.
Yeah.
But that first one in Phantom Menace, that was something I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
And then, like, the original training Empire Strikes Back, which is iconic, every scene is great. It is just a stunt guy, flipping with a puppet. You know, there's so much more you can do with those things.
I think.
And make them better.
Right, look, what was it, like 40 years ago in the 70s? Christianity was like, I don't know. Because this is like a religion thing, isn't it? You know?
What did you think of that line? Laura Dern says, Godspeed.
Oh, no.
When they're going away to the planet,
yeah,
she says the words Godspeed.
No way.
Right? That implies that there's a God.
Yeah.
Why do people love Star Wars? It's because it's an alternative to religion.
Yeah. Well, this is where I was going to go with it now. Because they think, you were the chosen one in the prophecy or whatever.
Yeah.
So like Jedi is a religion, is the text and all this. But it kind of like shot all that to shit. So what the Jedi stood for and all that, I was just like, right, let's just get rid of that.
Yeah. It wasn't getting rid of it. It was like, all this doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was just
it's like, we've chucked away religion.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like back then, it was just like, okay, here's the good and bad. This is simple. Here's this book of rules.
Yeah.
I to teach you not to be a prick,
yeah.
which is the Bible.
Yeah.
And then people realize, like, I don't know, this isn't gonna happen. I think that's where it's mirrored.
Yeah.
This.
What I'm saying to people is, in order to have a good society, you need to have. I'm not saying a religion is good, but what I'm saying is you need to have a moral code.
Yeah.
And that's what Star Wars was, and that's what like the cartoons I watched when I was a kid, and the way I played my figures. There was always someone's good. Someone is being rewarded for being good. And when they go rid of religion, like it's not nearly as like bad as it was like even like 50 years ago. Yeah. It gives these people this attitude of like, I can do whatever I want because nothing matters, and it creates pricks.
Yeah.
And like when you've got things to look for, people look for Star Wars. People look for these things.
They escape from
escape, and they want, like you said, they want it. And if you take that away from them, and it's like, well, even Star Wars doesn't think we should have morals.
Yeah.
Even Star Wars says it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like again, I don't know what effect it has on a young kid.
Yeah, the fantasy's totally
I had the same thing about Batman vs Superman. I was like, if I was a kid, like, I'd be like, well, Superman doesn't seem like a good guy, and Batman doesn't seem like a good guy.
Yeah.
Why should I associate with these characters? And it is like a lot more anti-heroes and a lot more pricks. And
I think it's because when we were kids, we're the people that go there now and and
but you're going to be taking your money. Kids before long.
I know. So I can be a bit more selective.
I know, you're going to have to watch them first. But edit the boobs out like AK's parents did.
Again, I think this is control. So it's like, right, no, it's got to be done this way. No, it isn't. Like, you can go off and find your own way. Now, I can give you these basic rules on how to be good or whatever, but like, again, it doesn't really matter.
But you have to have lead by example.
Yes.
It's like I'm teaching my martial art, yeah?
Yeah.
It's like I do all the push-ups the kids do.
Yeah.
Like if I was fat and out of shape and couldn't kick, why should my kids do it?
Yeah.
And it's like if you're watching a film where all the characters are indecisive and they're like, I need character C to come save me.
Yes.
This is a lot like what I see with my regular kids. Like they're like, I'm no good at this, so I'm gonna quit it and do something else. And they keep doing the easiest option.
Yeah.
This is hard, I can't do it.
Yes.
And I think that is what this film is saying. It's saying like, oh, it's too hard. Don't be a hero.
Yeah.
Which again is okay for real life sometimes, but if you're watching a film, like it's like it's like if John McClane in Die Hard went, the terrorists are here. Do you know what? I can hide.
He
could have hide. You know, he didn't have to go out. He could have hid quite well.
Yeah. Boring film.
But that's what this film is.
Yeah.
It's boring. Like you know, like, and this is what I'm saying about the next film. They don't have a villain. They don't have any villains.
Yeah.
Huck's in a villain. Kylo's a half and half.
Well, that's the thing. You've got the New Order, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is a police. We're guessing it's like a police state.
But you haven't really seen him do anything villainous apart from blow up those planets, which you never saw the people on.
Yeah.
It might as well have been rocks.
Yeah. You get a slight reaction, don't you, of a...
But what I'm saying is like even the first.
Why are they doing it? Like, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, with Palpatine, he's like, he just wanted to get into power.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like, I have control over everything.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they're trying to do it again.
It doesn't make any.
They're not following any religion or like any rule of like, because like with the original ones, I know it's not being racist or whatever, but he was just like white.
Yeah.
Just white one. It was white people.
White British people.
White.
Upper class British people. It's the rebels, sir. Well, what do they want? I think they want some tea, sir.
No, it was just like...
My God, man.
Okay, it was humans. But then...
Yeah, it's kind of racist. There's no aliens on the...
It's Nazis, isn't it? Like, what?
Yeah.
Well, not only that, it's just white people. So this new order has got obviously different races of humans and stuff in it.
Do they have aliens?
No, there's no aliens. It's still humans.
I hated what they did to Captain Phasma because I love Bria Tarth now.
Yeah.
And they promised that they're going to be a strong... It's not going to be another Boba Fett, and she totally was another Boba Fett. She was a cool looking character that as soon as there's danger gets killed.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
A bit shit, wasn't she?
But what I'm saying is that you watch a character in Game of Thrones, and her character is the definition of a great role model for someone.
Yes.
So, you know, just with that same actress. And they booked that actress because of her performance in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So what they've done there is they've done worse. They've taken a character that you love and they've neutered him.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they would want to be Finn, man.
Well, but what I'm saying is, why aren't there other Finns? He's the only stormtrooper who's ever defected.
Yeah.
Like I loved it in the first A New Hope film when Alec Guinness is sneaking around and the two stormtroopers are talking about, like, you see those new T-16s? They're pretty sweet, man. You know, they're just having a conversation. They're normal people.
Yeah.
I hated the Clone Wars where they're like, oh, they're all clones. Like, I hated that. And they're all based on Jango Fett. If they're all based on Jango Fett, they should all be fucking elite badasses. Surely. Doesn't make any sense.
Wow.
I love the fact they're human. Anyway, so So let's have a bet. Like I'll bet one extreme, right, and you bet the other extreme.
Okay.
Right. I'm saying that they have to keep the franchise going, right?
Okay.
It won't be a confined trilogy. Like there won't be a resolved ending.
In 9.
In 9, right?
Right.
So I'm saying that Kylo becomes good.
Well, no, this is what I originally thought when I went in there. I thought Kylo was a Trojan horse.
Yeah.
So like, he need to kill his dad to prove to Snoke that he's fully gone.
Yeah.
And then he comes round and does the double bounty on him just to get close to him and kill him, and then he comes out and he is the good guy, which is obviously is history repeating itself from Darth or wherever.
Yeah.
But you don't even see why he's turned to the, like.
But how does Snoke have this power? Like it's just ridiculous.
Well, not only that, but why does he?
What is he?
Why does he corrupt Kylo Ren?
But what, like?
Ben's like, why? And he's like, bring me Luke Skywalker. Why do you need Luke? Like, what did Luke do?
Because you can argue like that you never really knew what the Emperor was or who he was until the prequels.
Yeah.
But I swear it's different. Like it's so hard to think back in hindsight. But it's like, you had gravitas. Like no one ever asked. Like, I wonder what the Emperor's intentions were. You knew exactly what his intentions were.
Yeah.
Like it was very clear with very little. Like they didn't have to do backstory in the Emperor in those films if you were to understand who he was. What I'm saying about this Snoke character and all the other characters in these new films is they have very little screen time. There's very little of like character motivation. Like you really, really don't know why anyone is doing anything.
No.
No one has character motivation. Have you done that 16 personality thing?
No.
I'm going to do it with you now, man, to find out what personality you are.
Okay.
But basically, right, what was good about it is they said what other people had those personalities, but they also said fictional characters who have these personalities.
Yeah.
So when writers are designing characters, they go, this character is going to be a commander, this character is going to be an introvert, this character is going to be an ambassador, Like, they pick those character traits for those people, and I thought, that's fascinating, that's really cool. That's how you get a good dynamic of people. And I really, really believe this JJ story that they didn't have a plan because these characters don't have clear motivations.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you see it a lot in old school TV. Like one director would come in and direct a character one way, next director would direct them another way, so you wouldn't have a clear thing of where they were going with it.
Thing is, Lucas wrote the story for him, didn't he? He did. He wrote 7, 8, and 9. He wrote the story.
Yeah, he did write it. Yeah.
Yeah, and they turned it down and turned it away.
But he didn't have anything to do with these new ones.
Oh no.
It was Kaz that won it and his kid.
He wrote the basic plot for all 3 films of what's to happen.
Because what happened with this solo story, which is why I think it's going to be a mess, is Lawrence Kasdan, who hadn't written anything for years, wrote Force Awakens. And he got his son, who'd never written anything apparently, to write the Han Solo movie. And then Lord and Miller came in and went, we're just going to do our own thing. And they started doing their own thing, and like that's when they complained to Kathleen Kennedy and went, he's not using my son's script at all, like you won't get credited because they're not using it. And that's why they've reshot it all with Ron Howard.
Really?
It's a shit show.
Bollocks
made. It's pleasing people, man. That's the problem with them.
Yeah.
They've got to please people. Like what they said about the first thing that gets decided now with the film is release dates.
Yeah.
Before it's written, before it's cast, before anything. They said it's the downfall of people, like directors like John Carpenter. It would take like 2.5 years to make a film.
Yeah.
Because you either have money or you have time.
You can't have both.
You can't have you can't do without both. And they budget these films at such a high cost. And like that's what I was on about with the CGI. I was like looking at the CGI for like rare exports.
Yeah.
It's got like a $6 million budget, and CGI and it looks awesome. And I watched Justice League the other month, and I'm like, It looks terrible. It's just like PS2 graphics for thing. It looks so bad, and it's because they're not spending the time on it.
So what's your final verdict on it, I guess?
I think The Last Jedi is a bad film for kids. It's a bad film for Star Wars fans, and it's a bad film for like how films are made in general. If this is the thing that they're going to release, like as the biggest film of the year, which it will be, that's a bad precedent to make. Like, it just proves that. Whereas I watched Bright, the Netflix movie, loads of fun. Yeah. I'm not saying it's a perfect movie, but as a satisfying movie to watch, great ideas. Yeah. Do you know anything about it?
It just as like Alien Nation to me.
Yeah, it is like that, but it's like it's Lord of the Rings mixed with cops and gangsters. Yeah. But that's a fun concept, and it was entertaining.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind if a film is like stupid. I don't mind if it's not perfect.
But what did I watch the other day? The Babysitter.
Yeah,
see that? Fucking loads of fun.
Yeah.
You know what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
It wasn't gonna be no surprises or whatever, but it was a bit of fun. I did enjoy it. It made me laugh.
There we go. That's what you want from a film, man, and that's what I'm saying about film.
Yeah, but like with this, man, it's like, again, your beliefs in it. That's something that you love. You put it up so fucking high. I think that's what I liked about it. So like, oh my god, yes, Luke, he's gonna come in and he's gonna do this. No, he ain't.
But don't you think that's the easiest thing to do? That's like the equivalent of like when you're having a debate with someone just says the word no. Like, you want them to keep talking to you, and they just go, nah, not going, not doing. I think in the short term it was clever writing, but I think in the long term it's got no, like, it's got no foresight.
Yeah. Well, what was the funny thing? In that, the toys, that thing, what made him?
Yeah.
Because like.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing, that program.
With the toys bombed, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because it was just like, right, who the hell wants to watch this political thing?
Yeah.
But the story, like I argued with Mark, right?
Yeah.
It's all about power. Do you know he gets into power?
Yeah.
Like, obviously you got that awesome fight with because I love the stories of
the story's great because
not all three stories are awesome, man. I think, but
it's the way they're executed. It's like
is awful.
Yeah, it is like someone holding up a figure and going like figure A, figure B.
Yeah.
Man, like I tell everyone, man. Like I said during Force Awakens, I said when I watched The Phantom Menace, I enjoyed them more than when I watched Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying about Clone Wars is I think Clone Wars is shit compared to the last 40 minutes. But the last 40 minutes of Clone Wars is some of the most entertaining Star Wars stuff around. From the bit they go to that island and that Christopher Lee's introduced.
Yeah.
I don't think so, Dooku. Man, all that's brilliant. Like, and like, 3PO and R2D2 being funny. Like, I'm quite beside myself. Yeah. All that's hilarious. And it's got a real, like a down ending, but a satisfying ending.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the start of the film with all that, I've got to go to Camino. Yeah. I've got to protect the princess. Like, all that bit's bullshit. Like, doesn't need to be there. It's filler. But this film for me was filler too. With no satisfying ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. Don't go see it. Watch Happy instead.
The expanded universe instead.
Yeah.
Joris Kaboff, fucking awesome.
We should
Admiral Thrawn and all that.
Let's animate it.
Watch Rebels. Rebels is great.
Rebels is good. There we go. Good night, kids.
A wing-wing shoot-back production.
Tell me this.